Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Authentic Info Podcast. I'm your host, Master Ndlejao. Now, there are many cases, rumors, facts, pictures, videos, bad information about our Deputy President, Paul MASHATILE. He also came out to say that he suspects that there's a plot against him. We have recently been seeing each and every week information that is bad and that relates to or that links our Deputy President Paul MASHATILE. And he seemed now to be tired of these scandals. And he came out to defend himself, where we saw him saying that or claiming that there's a plot against him. The reason is not because he denies everything that is happening. He says that they are bringing in things which happened while he was still serving in Gauteng, in the Gauteng government. I don't think that is credible enough to dismiss all these allegations, all these information, videos, pictures that are out there every week. Since the beginning of this month, is scandal after scandal that links our Deputy President, Paul MASHATILE. I don't know what's going on, and the President has said nothing about that, and apparently there's no case on that. It's just that it seems like someone has collected evidence and they are putting it out there. And he says that there's an attack by the media. That's what Paul MASHATILE is saying, that there's an attack by the media, and he thinks that there's a plot against him. Now, I don't know whether there's a plot against him or not, but each and every week we see something. I mean, it was linked to recently Edwin Sodi saying that there's a house which apparently has been known to be attached by the asset forfeiture unit. It's up for sale, but this house is being used in most weekends by our Deputy President Paul MASHATILE, where he hosts parties. While we were surprised by that scandal, they brought in another one, a video clip of SAPS VIP personnel or VIP unit assigned apparently to the very same guy, same man, Paul MASHATILE, brutalizing people on the side of the road. This was held on camera and it went viral. While we're still surprised of that, this week, information again that there's a dodgy 36 million house which is linked to his son-in-law who's benefiting from tenders in Gauteng. And then he bought that house and it's used by Paul MASHATILE, our Deputy President. Is there a plot against him? Because we've seen that in the ANC now, they have adopted a precedent that no president can finish their second term. And by the look of things, if that happens, the person to step in is Paul MASHATILE. If Ramaphosa doesn't finish his term, the person to step in is Paul MASHATILE. You remember that after he emerged victorious as a deputy president in Nasrec, there was information that he was already planning how he's going to take out President Ramaphosa. And when when ANC win in 2024, he's going to give the EFF deputy president. Like the CIC is going to be deputy president, he's going to be president of the ANC, while the CIC becomes deputy president of the country. And they're going in coalition government, which means he wanted support from the EFF maybe to help him take out President Ramaphosa. But those are fabricated stories, but they went viral. So we don't know, maybe Ramaphosa is playing his cards very close to his chest. You'll never know. These are politics, because there are also cases against President Ramaphosa, which I think if he doesn't have the power that he has as a president, they might also take him to prison. The way President Zuma went to prison, a former president was sent to prison. I think that's another precedent where a former president of the ruling party is sent to prison and the ruling party says nothing about that. And recently, he's still going. There's information that he might go back to prison, by the way, because the Constitutional Court has dismissed the application made by the Department of Correctional Services to overturn the ruling made by the Supreme Court of Appeal to dismiss, which ruled that the parole, medical parole, approved by the former National Commissioner of the Department of Correctional Services, Arthur Fraser, to Jacob Zuma to be unlawful. So, are we going to see President Ramaphosa fighting Paul MASHATILE quietly so? Is that what is happening? Or is there someone who wants that position? But I don't think people don't fight for deputy president position. They want power. They want to be president or secretary general, one of the two. So we saw Paul MASHATILE coming out to say there's a plot against him because the media is bringing in things which happened when he was still in government in Gauteng. But another question is, are these things legal? Even if they transpired while he was still serving in Gauteng, were they legal? Is it legal to stay in a house that has been attached by the asset forfeiture unit to try and recover the money which was unlawfully benefited by Blackhead Company owned by Edwin Sodi? Because that house apparently is worth 78 million and it's in Cape Town, so that no one is suspicious. So they go to where the ANC doesn't govern. They buy properties and stay there. Apparently even one of the houses or family house of the president is in Cape Town. It's in Western Cape. So what does this say about the leadership of the ANC? A question that I always pose. Is there anyone who is clean there? Because the president has Pala is still hanging. The Marikana case is still there. And all other smaller Nyana skeletons, they're still there on top of the president's head. But now that he is in power, and even the CR17 bank statements, they are sealed. So there's no one who's going to do anything currently because he's still in power. But what's going to happen when he is moved or removed, or he finishes his second term? Because either way, he cannot be president forever. And what's going to happen to the current president? Is he trying to shift attention to the deputy president for us to look into his scandals and leave him alone? Because these scandals linked to Deputy President Paul MASHATILE, it's not something that you can say it's unavoidable. If there's a house that is worth 78 million and there's another house that is worth 30-something million, that is 100 million already. And Edwin saw this company, Blackhead, has benefited a lot in Gauteng by the time Paul MASHATILE was serving in Gauteng. What does this mean? Because they say in human settlement or rural development, one of the two, that from 2009 to 2019, Blackhead alone has benefited 1 billion worth of tenders in Gauteng from one department. And there's another one in Free State of another billion. So are these some of Paul MASHATILE's companies where He uses these guys as faces of France. What is his net worth? Is there anyone plotting against him, or he has just been reckless as a deputy president before he even occupied that position as a leader in the ANC and EC, as a leader in Gauteng, as a politician ever since? Is he clean? Is he credible enough to lead South Africa? Another question is, what does it take for an ANC member to become president? Why did Didi Mabuza left before it was due? Because he was deputy president. He said he's giving space to Paul Mashatile. What did Paul Mashatile do to Didi or say? Because nationally, in government, I think was supposed to serve until 2024 as the deputy president of the country, not that of the ANC, but of the country. But he said no, he's giving him space. Why so early? And now Paul Mashatile is here, but each and every week is scandal after scandal of the things that he did back then. Another question is, what is he doing now? What has he done this year? That is maybe is going to be published next year. Because he's not standing up to say, I did not do those things. I'm not associated with that person. He's saying that those things happened while I was in Gauteng. Another question is the ANC led by the most corrupt, like your profile must be full of corrupt activities so that you can be recommended for a position in the top 6? It's very questionable because as a deputy president, automatically he's supposed to be president in the future. And the way President Ramaphosa became president is because Zuma resigned. He didn't finish the second term. Ramaphosa took over. Didi served one term. After Nasrec, it didn't emerge victorious. He gave space to Paul Mashatile. Now we know that a president in South Africa doesn't finish their second term. Mbeki didn't, Zuma didn't. Obvious, even this one. He won't. And we expect the deputy president to take over. Does Ramaphosa have another one in mind who he thinks is fit to take that position, not Paul Mashatile? That is why we see these scandals coming out. And what happened to unity in the ANC? What happened to protecting each other in the ANC? Because we know comrades protect each other. But it seems like things have changed. And protecting each other, it's not to say that even if they are corrupt, their corrupt activities must not come to the public or must not be known. I mean, just to unite as a political party, as comrades, protect each other, do the right things. Because protection doesn't mean that the comrades must be reckless. But it seems like there's no one who's not reckless in the ANC. Everyone, we've seen scandals of security upgrades, linking Gwende Mataj. So everyone there, we've seen a dodgy 3 million rand loan linked to SG, Fikile Mbalula. Everyone is a scandal in that top 6. There's no one who is clean. Now, what does it mean to the future of the country since that we are talking about the people who are serving in the ruling party? And why don't they want to discuss the succession plan of the ANC? Because when you check, if Ramaphosa doesn't finish his term, the person who's supposed to take over is this one, Paul Mashatile. And Now the scandals are coming in. Imagine him being president. What's going to happen? The information that we will get of his recklessness, the love of parties, girlfriends, and things like that. These are not things that I'm making, by the way. There are pictures. Everything is out there. That is why he says that he feels as if he's being attacked. There's a plot against him. But is there any justification that he can give to say, I didn't do those things? It's not saying that. He says that I did those things while I was in Gauteng. So he says maybe now that it's in national and they must give national level scandals. Maybe those ones lapsed. They lapsed by the time I was serving in Gauteng, in provincial level. Now that it's in national level, he want us to bring something solid that he has done. Some sort of corruption that links him now that he is in national level. Maybe it's clean now. But crime is crime. Wrongfulness, lawlessness, corruption, those things doesn't expire. Especially if there's evidence like this. Figures, millions. South Africa was once very concerned about Nkandla and Nkandla upgrade. Speaking about 266 million, something like that. Now this one is already, we're talking about more than 100 million on 2 properties and linked to a company that has benefited more than $1 billion from one department. Not the others, from one department, more than $1 billion. Another $1 billion in Free State, things like that. Imagine. And we think Zuma was the most corrupt. Aye. South Africa, let's talk. What are your views? Is there someone plotting against our Deputy President Paul Mashatile? Does it mean that if you serve in a lower structure, but provincial is a bigger structure, especially Gauteng, does it mean that if you serve in a lower structure in the ANC and you find yourself involved in corruption, you automatically, when you get a higher position within the political party, it means that all the corrupt activities that links you, that you have committed by the time you were serving in a lower structure, they are cleared. Is that the principle in the ANC? Thanks for watching Authentic Info Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment, and like and share with friends, family, and colleagues. Let's grow this platform together. Thank you.